Hey everyone, Ken Pearson here from Mothernode CRM. In this quick tutorial, what we're going to be talking about is building holiday campaigns to send greetings, season's greetings, to your customers and your contacts. What we're going to be talking about in this quick tutorial is going to be how to automate the e-greeting card process within your company so you can instantly build a sequence that will ultimately be able to be reused and repurposed again and again and again with your existing contacts as well as future contacts. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at creating a personalized greeting for a couple of holidays that we have in mind that are coming up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to create a holiday sequence, and this is the ingredient that's going to be repurposed over and over again. This is going to be your holiday sequence, and it's going to be the one sequence that you use to continually deliver new holiday greetings for this year as well as years to come. And then we're going to talk about how you can add all or some of your contacts, depending on your company structure. If you have international customers that have holidays at different times, you may want to basically be focused on their specific holidays, wishing them well as general holidays that are international. So we'll show you how to do that. So the example that we're going to use here is we're going to basically take two holiday greetings. So in this case here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a Thanksgiving holiday greeting for our Canadian customers that takes place in October. Then we're going to do a Thanksgiving holiday greeting for our U.S. customers that takes place in November. And of course, internationally, we have Christmas. We want to give season's greetings to all of our customers around the world. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is go into the Template Studio and create our email campaigns or our e-cards that we're going to be using in our holiday sequences. So in this example over here, you can see that I've created three. Now I have created one for American Thanksgiving, and I've created another one for Canadian Thanksgiving. You don't necessarily have to do this. The only time you would do this, two separate ones, is if your messages were different. So I have one for my American audience, and I have one that speaks to my Canadian audience as well, and that's why I have two. I could have used the exact same e-card for Happy Thanksgiving for both customers if I wanted to. And then of course I've made a third one down here for Christmas for Happy Holidays. So let's take a look at what one of these looks like. So I'm going to open this up here. You can see here off to the left-hand side, I have my preview of my Thanksgiving card for my customers. I've named the template accordingly. I give it a small description so that way people can see when they're adding this to sequences, they get a little bit more information. I've put in a category called seasonal. I've also made one for holidays. You can do whatever it is that you want. So you can basically brand all of these different templates. Make them easy for people to understand. These go into holiday sequences or seasonal sequences, etc. And then down below I have a subject, Happy Thanksgiving. I've chose to come from other. In this case, I've decided to make it come from the Mothernode CRM team. Email address is customer.service@mothernode.com. You can also make it come from the contact owner or a designated person on your team. And then when I'm done, I check this to be ready, and I'm going to go ahead and save it. Before I do this, I'm going to go in. Let's just take a look at the template very quickly. It's very plain. What I've done here is I've actually taken a couple of images, or one image, and I broke it up into three. I did this so they'll load much quicker. Okay, so these will start to load within the person's email account much faster. Remember to optimize your images. You don't want them to be very big. The smallest you can possibly make would be generate the best results for load time. And then down below I have a personal message that just basically says Happy Thanksgiving. So I'm using my merge fields here. In this case, I'm going for the contact's first name, so I go to my merge field, say contact first name, and that's what's in there. And then I customize my message. It makes it very personal and gives them a welcome, a nice, warm, Happy Thanksgiving message. That's all you're basically doing in this case. To put something together like this takes very little time at all. All right, when you're done, you click Save and Close. If you want to see what it looks like on the mobile device, just click on the mobile button over here. You can also see tablets and then desktop. Okay, so you can see what that looks like. We're going to close this here. We're going to take it back to the actual list. This is where we are. And then I'm going to go over here to my sequences. So in my list of sequences, I've created one called Holiday Campaigns. These are for my customers. And so I've named this one Holiday Campaigns, short description again, and I've applied some categories here. And then right now, this is going to be for my U.S. customers. Again, I could make my Canadian customers, and I would make my Canadian customers in a separate sequence, because if there were different holidays at different times of the years for Canadians, then I can have messages that speak to them directly. Things like Boxing Day or Happy Thanksgiving in October as opposed to November. So in this one, I'm doing the American holidays, and this is where it gets very important. What you want to do with this sequence is that you want to always use dates, okay, that you want these to go out. And what will happen in this case is that every time you put somebody into this sequence, so it could be a customer that you had for the past 3 years or a new customer that you acquire tomorrow, once they get put into the sequence, then they will receive all of these new holiday campaigns or these new holiday greetings whenever they take place. So if you wanted to, you could be planning, you could be sending out Christmas cards right now, planning to send those out for 2017, 18, 19, 20, for the next 10 years if you wanted to. And none of the past events will be delivered to any of your folks once they've been put into the sequence, only the other ones. What you don't want to do, only the future events. What you don't want to do in this particular case is choose, something like as soon as possible. You want to go with a specific calendar date in this case, and then choose a time that's appropriate. Okay, something you like. So as it relates to Thanksgiving, I like to do something the week of. It's a very quiet week for most people, so it's not intrusive getting an email that comes through that says Happy Thanksgiving. Same thing with the Christmas holidays, but just before December 24th, maybe about 5-10 days before, something like that. Don't send out a bunch, just send out one, and this way at least you don't miss anybody. You're getting everybody on your holiday list, all of your contacts that you have, the people that you do business with, people who are your customers, so you're getting them all over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our existing contacts into this sequence, and that means that they will receive the first Thanksgiving email card, e-card, on the designated date, which is going to be the 21st, and then after, on the 19th of December, they'll go ahead and receive this holiday campaign for Christmas, and any campaigns that we do after that. Any of these templates that we add to later on, it could be Valentine's Day, it could be Easter, it could be St. Patrick's Day, whatever the occasion, we can keep adding to this, and we never have to do anything else other than add a new template plus a date, and then the people who are already being added to this will be receiving everything that we have in here, okay, and only the items that are going forward. All right, the other way you can do this, I'll just mention this, it's more laborious in the sense that it's more of a manual process. You can e-blast each one of these, so that means you would do them one at a time. You can schedule one to go out using the e-blast and say, okay, schedule this on the 21st, and make another e-blast that would send this one out on the 19th. However, again, you're doing an email marketing campaign for each one of these where the sequence automates the entire process. All right, so let's go over to our contacts and make that list. I'm going to go over here to contacts. All right, so here's my listing of contacts. So the first thing that I want to do in this case is that I want to filter down just on my US customers, because I want to work and focus on the US holiday campaign. So I want to filter on my US customers and build a list for that. So I'm using my advanced search like I normally do. And what I'm going to do here is that you can see as I always have as my default search on the active users. So what this actually means is that I don't want to look at customers that are former customers. I want to only focus on contacts that are active within my database, people I currently do business with or currently consider a customer account. All right, so it says yes, of course, and then over here what I want to do is I want to say country equals, and I'll say US. And then what I typically would do in this case is click search, and or I can save this, but what I also want to do is add to follow-up sequence. So I'm going to add them to a follow-up sequence just in a moment. What I want to do first is save this list so I don't have to make this search again in the future. So I click save search, and I'll call this one US customers, and then I'll click run and save. There we go. I've got this here, so it's pulled them up. I have 211 customers here. All right, now that I've done this, just so you know in the future, you have this available to you here. Okay, so they're now in the list. You don't have to make this anymore. You can just go ahead and select from the list here. And then down below, I can sit there and say add to follow-up sequence. So in this case here, I want to go ahead and give it a short description. Say US customers holiday sequence. Okay. All right, then I want to choose a category over here. I'm going to choose holiday, and then I'm going to choose the holiday sequence that I just created. Okay, and I'm going to click add to follow-up sequence. Now, it takes a few minutes. Down below, you get a little notice here. It says contacts will be added to the selected sequence. So the program is busy assembling all of those contacts and putting them to the proper sequence. And you're ready to go. That's all you had to do with all of these customers and these contacts. Now they're in the holiday sequence, and they'll receive their holiday greetings on the designated dates that were for each of those templates. So think about how you can use those in the future for either your holiday greetings or a variety of different greetings that you want to schedule up front, or news announcements. Even newsletters can work the exact same way. There's an infinite amount of combinations you can use to quickly automatically schedule these communications between your organization and your customers and keeping them informed of everything you have going on. Thanks very much for joining us.